Sentinel and the Clerk of the Township of North Brunswick, and delivered to the 9 duly elected board members. At this time, I'll pass it to you, Ms. Chiroka, for our presentations.
Thank you very much. This is actually a jam-packed evening. We're thrilled to have so many people here in the audience to celebrate our teachers and educational service professionals of the year. But we are also honoring and showcasing our brand-new Early Childhood Center. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Mr. Scott Passner, our principal of the North Brunswick Township ECC, and I am going to set up his slideshow for him so he can show that. And that microphone should be on for you. And Mr. Passner, if you'll tell me when you want me to move it ahead.
Hello.
Mr. Toro's coming to help. ESP of the year.
I know, and he's in this presentation too.
1, 2. We always say teamwork makes the dream work. Part of the presentation, but thank you everyone thank you to Mrs. Chiroka, the Board of Education, Mrs. Kita, Mrs. Hawk, and the entire board and the community. I'm so lucky to be able to speak on, to me, one of the best nights in the district each year. And this board meeting is such an opportunity to celebrate success. And throughout our district, we have so many wonderful people working here. And to have the opportunity to be here to speak tonight about our 3, 4, and 5-year-olds who are going to have the experience to work with these teachers, ESPs, educators, it's just an honor. So I want to talk about the new NBT ECC. For those that don't know me, my name is Scott Passner. I'm the principal of the Early Childhood Center. I'm also the acting supervisor of preschool programming district-wide. And I have had the honor this year to work together with such a tremendous staff and students and families and the community to launch the first year of the new North Brunswick Township Early Childhood Center. So this is just a way to start to give you a glimpse, because as we know, there was a lot of work that went into getting us prepared for where we are today and to be here. And please move on. Well, I always think what a difference a year makes. And you can see in the picture on the left, as we were preparing for this move, there was a lot of work happening each and every single day. And no matter how many times we would come back to see the work being done, we were always impressed with how much had taken place. But really to see the transition from dirt and construction to what we have now is amazing. And we're so excited about it. Well, for those of us that don't know our story, we were in Milltown. We had rented a place in Milltown for the previous 5 years. And we were really excited for this move, and we held ESY last summer, throughout the summer, at our Early Childhood Center in Milltown. And then the week of August 13th, the fun began. And you can see Mr. Toro in there helping moving things, because he does everything to help support the team. And there was a lot that went into it. All the time that we would organize, the inventories, the setting all the transitions up, all the meetings to make sure that the building was left perfectly for the owners, and all that work that went into it. And moving day turned into moving days, but we really appreciated all the work from cart movers. The staff could not wait to dive right in to the new building. And again, piece by piece, foundational things were set to make sure to ensure the success for our students, staff, and community. Celebrating little successes like the day we got our flag hung up in our faculty, in our multi-purpose room, or when they came to hook up the screens and staff members getting used to their rooms. Well, nothing beats the first day of school, especially for preschool, where many of our students, this is their first opportunity in schools. Having a staff that was so dedicated and always going the extra mile to get ready for that first day, from our first day in the building on August 23rd, and that picture was taken on the first day of school, September 1st. So in 9 days to do all that we did, it's incredible to think when you reflect and look back. Well, wasn't fall fantastic? We know it wasn't preschool. And you can just get a glimpse of some of the different things that we had happening. From things just to get in the spirit of things with the Halloween season, Fire Prevention Safety Month. We had a great event in the parking lot, which was the North Brunswick Bike Rally, and it was a collaboration between Mary Ellen Engel, the school nurses, the MBTEA, the police department, the women's club, so many different things, but just bringing the community together. We also had some fun spirits weeks like Peace Week, Respect Week, and other examples. Halloween was awesome because we were able to create new traditions. One of those new traditions you see in the top left was we had our own pumpkin patch, which was a collaboration with Trader Joe's, who donated pumpkins for our students to pick and bring home. We also had a parade, and we also started something new, the first ever parade through the Board of Education office as well. Students practiced and had fun and enjoyed it. Another real tremendous success was our MBT Preschool Family Group Ice Cream Bingo, held right out in the parking lot. It was a cold day about in mid-November, but the ice cream truck came and we had literacy events. We had over 200 families come out that night, and we were so impressed because it was one of those opportunities that we had to really interface with the community. Thank you to the MBTA and all of our staff who participated. Who doesn't love American Education Week? We all do. And the students really enjoyed the different events that we had. We had some virtual family events such as family group meetings, virtual assembly. We had virtual coffee with the principal. All these different ways to, again, bring the community together. Winter Magic was fun. And you see a picture of our two honorees who we'll be honoring later, Ms. Gupta and Mrs. Glasson, who are Educator and ESP of the Year. The day was announced at the faculty meeting. We had so much exciting times learning and exploring with the snow, as you can see. Students using technology like Seesaw, and just so much engagement. And that's the key thing we see in preschool, that hands-on learning. This was one of the fun things I think came from the pandemic. As we know, we are in 7 locations for our preschool program. MBTECC, Parsons, Judd, LP, John Adams, Oscillero, and Lightbridge Academy. Doing these preschool virtual assemblies, we were able to bring all the classes together for different occasions, and it was really a chance to really engage the community. There's Mrs. Lamaldi, who did a virtual sing-along. Well, we said Winter Wonderland was a lot of fun. And there was a day, I remember, if you remember in January, where there was a snow day that just worked out. We had a virtual day and it was a snow day. So many students for choice time chose to go out and play in the snow. And the families were so excited to do that. It was on Friday, if you remember. Also, again, collaboration blooming, meetings with grade level leaders from all the different locations, collaboration's key, and celebrating success. I love that picture of Miss Conlon in her class celebrating 2/22/22, and I still can't get that. I still didn't get that right. Another amazing success that actually that started Genesis was at a Board of Education meeting in October 2019, is our NBT Preschool Family Group. The family group meets monthly, virtually, and we do in-person events. It all came from the idea that since the preschool, we have these 7 locations, it was a way to get collaboration with all 7 groups of families because we're all one North Brunswick community. We had this, you can see Mr. Ray with his virtual concert. Everyone loves Read Across America Week. And thank you, Ms. Shiroka, and all the different special guests we had, mystery readers, community partners. We had people from the North Brunswick Township Police Department. We had Board of Education from our central office. We had the North Brunswick Township Women's Club. We had, again, a wide variety of different people, again, who are important people in our town. Another one of the most exciting nights of the year was our NBT Preschool Literacy Night, which was held during Read Across America Week. And we do something that's called the One Book Project. What the One Book Project is that the NBTEA purchases a book for every preschool student district-wide. Then we all come together and read the same book together. It was an outstanding event attended by over 200 Zoom or Google Meet people, and it really brought the community together. Thank you, Ms. Soroka, who attended, and families were so happy to interact and see this really fun community event. You can see Mrs. Ann Sloan getting those books ready. Oh, another awesome, exciting event from this year was us working on getting a playground when we moved into the new building. There wasn't a playground here, so there was a lot of work, a lot of effort, a lot of planning and preparation to get that going. And they worked really hard to design a state-of-the-art playground. And we're happy to say, spring has sprung. So you can see that playground in action and see the excitement that it brings to our students. The first day was up, and I saw a student at the end of the day really upset. She didn't want to leave. And I said, it's okay, we'll see you tomorrow. She goes, but that playground, it's not going to be there. I was like, good news.
It's not going anywhere.
But you can see the hands-on learning our students have every single day. Oh, Autism Acceptance Month and Bubbles for Autism, another great opportunity, again, for our whole community. We did theme days where Magnificent Hat Monday and different events to bring the community together. And seeing everyone together in our school was just such an exceptional moment, and it was just amazing. Just some random other first-year fun things you're seeing that happen around. One of the things, if you see in the upper left, you see them building a tower. That's a really cool collaboration with Linwood 5-6 School, where we have students come from Linwood to the Early Childhood Center on Fridays to work together and to work with our students. So amazing to see the relationships they're creating. We participate in the art show, but we will be having our first ever NBT preschool art show on June 9th. That will be with all 7 of our locations here between 5 o'clock and 7 o'clock. You can just see, when you come in and you see Officer Calvin and Michelle, just that smile you get at the door every day, it's so important. And again, just seeing the excitement and hands-on learning in our students. Some more fun with Miss Sabrina, who works with our classes as a special. She works with them on different activities, hands-on learning activities. Art, music are so important. You can see some of the artwork that students do with Mrs. Lamaldi, our special as well. Some of the amazing things and creations. And again, Mrs. Lamaldi does a lot of different hands-on learning opportunities with our students, and just the excitement she brings. The self-portraits, they'll be on display on June 9th. That give a little promo. Nothing beats the joy of seeing that gross motor time, and that's one of the things, having an old multi-purpose room we did not have at our old location, and just seeing the children's excitement and having that opportunity is just amazing. We're in the home stretch. Shadow puppets and music time. There are so many things our students do each and every day that maintains that engagement and love of learning. Well, one of the most important things, as you've heard throughout this, is our commitment to the community. And this is just some of the partnerships we developed this year. You can see that Trader Joe's with those pumpkins, or the MBTA donating books, or Miss Dana Watson from the Department of Ed, who came down to visit us and see the amazing things happening. We thank the alchemists at the MBTHS who were able to have some of our programs come for a sensory-friendly performance this year.
And the Little
The
Prince,
Women's Club.
Prince is right here.
Great job. We're amazing. And the joy for our students, we joked, we said it was like going to Madison Square Garden. Others, like the police department, who are always so supportive of us. We talked about Linwood, Starbucks, who always supports us, for Teacher Appreciation Week, loves to make sure that they recognize our teachers. Staples, supplies, giving us office supplies this summer. The Township Council and Mayor Womack, who let me come on the morning broadcast to talk about the lottery. All of these relationships that we've been building and growing in North Brunswick. You always got to celebrate, and birthdays are a big deal at MBTE ECC. Think back to when you were 3, 4, and 5, or think back to me, 44. Still love birthdays. And again, our students really are so excited to be learning and celebrating and growing. And another key thing is the professional development happening. And I'm really proud of the administrators at the ECC, myself, Mrs. Havens, and Mrs. Engel. We're all very involved with professional development statewide, doing presentations, being involved in learning and collaborating with people from all across the state. It's something truly to be proud of. It's not over, everybody. We still have our art show June 9th. We have our virtual concert for all of our preschool students on June 8th. We also have a lot of other amazing end-of-year activities planned. And in closing, I just want to say thank you to everyone. I appreciate your support of the MBT preschool program, our expansion, our growth, putting these systems in place to just make the township to just grow. And I think that bringing the community together with that support has been something we've continued to strive for, and we will continue to. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Mr. Pastner. You know, we've typically this year, we started back to doing our conference meetings, and now that we added a middle school and an early childhood center, we didn't have enough meetings to be able to squeeze in. So we thank you for coming here and presenting here and bringing us a picture that really shows us what true high-quality preschool looks like. Because I think a lot of people thought preschool was really just daycare, and we know beyond that, it's really such a learning place for our students. And free preschool for the community is a tremendous asset, and the fact that we've been able to grow from just a few classes, just a little over 5 years ago, to over 300, how many students we have now?
7 locations.
At 7 locations. That's incredible. And thank you for your hard work and your effort, and thank you to all your team members who are here this evening as well. All right, our next presentation is Mrs. Amy Kita, and she will be talking about our wonderful special teachers and educational specialists.
Thank you, Mrs. Shiroka. My name is Amy Kita. I'm the assistant. Somebody has a question.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I just have a question because I'm reading here on, I guess, the agenda. Is there a public meeting portion to this meet?
There is always a public meeting. It will be later on the agenda. Yes, ma'am.
I'm Amy Kita. I'm the assistant superintendent here in North Brunswick. I am a longtime employee here. I was a teacher myself many moons ago before becoming an administrator, and I'm honored to be here to present our 2021-2022 Governor's Educator of the Year, and now we're in our second year of our MBT Schools Education Support Person of the Year recognition program. For all that do not know, the New Jersey Department of Ed sponsors the Governor's Educator of the Year Award, and last year MBTEA President Beth Pasner came to former Superintendent Dr. Zukowski and I and talked about, you know, this would be such a great time, especially as we were coming back last year from the pandemic, to honor also the other stakeholders, the other members that are just as essential to our team, which is our support staff. So I'm thrilled that we are able to continue that tradition moving on. It was a great idea, and again, I'm just thrilled to be able to be up here hosting this presentation. So again, you know, we always start with, you know, some sort of an inspiring quote that really reflects upon the year that we've had. So this one really spoke to me by Ralph Waldo Emerson. What lies behind you and what lies in front of you pales in comparison to what lies inside of you. And again, you know, everyone thought it would just be maybe a year or so, you know, coming back from the pandemic, but this year was just as tough, if not tougher, than last year as we came back full-time and in person. And it's not just, you know, about the teachers, it's everybody. And the teachers will tell you too, they can't do their job without their support staff, and the support staff can't do their job without the educators. It really is a collaborative team effort from top to bottom of every stakeholder that makes our district run for our students, for our families. And again, what we've been faced with challenges in the past 2 years, the dedication that our staff members show up every day 100% through this pandemic. Again, just really goes to show the high quality staff that we have hired and that we've maintained in this district. And I'm so super excited to honor all of you tonight here. So we have a little something different this year with our presentation. Mr. John Patella, principal of Judd Elementary School, had a great idea and thought, you know, why don't we have some of the staff of the recipients of the award nominees to shoot some videos, a video to describe the award winners, and that's what we're going to see tonight. So I'm actually not going to do as much more talking. But the way I think what we're going to do is, well, I'm going to have the building principal come up and their two honorees. So at this time for the MBTECC, I'd like to call up Mr. Pasner again, along with Governor's Educator of the Year speech therapist Ruta Gupta. Unfortunately, she could not be here tonight, but instructional aide Karen Glasson is the ECC's Educator Support Person of the Year.
Let's say congratulations from the MBTECC to Mrs. Rachel Gupta, our Educator of the Year. We're so fortunate to have them both here at the Brunswick Township Early Childhood Center, supporting our students, our staff, and the community.
Congratulations to the two for being our Educator of the Year here at the BCC. I am so happy and honored to be a colleague who's been such a huge asset for me, for our speech department, for our special education department, and for our preschool department. You are always willing to pitch in, go the extra mile. We learn from you. We collaborate so well with everyone, and we love having you in our classrooms. Congratulations,
Congratulations, Rick. You definitely deserve this. You are also in our preschool, and we love having you. Congratulations. Congratulations, Rick. Congratulations. We are really proud of you.
Congratulations, Ritu, on being crowned Educator of the Year. We are honored to work with you, and we love seeing the children's faces light up when you walk into a room. We love you.
You want me to play the other one? Okay. May take a moment to load. I did preload them, but. We'll just watch the spinny thing going around for a minute.
Our support person of the year, and has worked in our preschool program for many years now. She's always willing to work with our students to learn from whoever is coming out of the classroom, and also to teach anyone who might be new or comes on board. Karen is one of the go-to people to ask questions and to help problem solve.
Karen Glasson, our ESP. Thank you both for all you do.
That's all right.
At this time, I'd like to call up any administrators, our principal, our instructional dean from John Adams, as we honor Maureen Carter, fourth grade teacher, and Debbie Coster, main office secretary.
Good evening. I'm Carly Cummings, the instructional dean at John Adams. I'm pleased to share with you the Governor's Educator of the Year recipient for our school. Maureen Carter is the true definition of a teacher. She works hard to build lasting relationships with students. She goes above and beyond to make sure that her students enjoy learning by having high yet realistic expectations, and works to ensure that each and every student feels supported as they strive to achieve their best. Maureen is always willing to try something new and is always creating new and exciting ways to teach new concepts. As a colleague, Maureen is a true collaborator. She is dedicated, hardworking, organized, creative, and truly wants to see others succeed. Maureen is a key member of our school community. Her boundless energy, enthusiasm, and contagious zest for always wanting to do more and do better is invaluable. Above all else, Maureen is caring, kind, compassionate, and someone that I have personally been able to call a colleague, but more importantly, a friend for the past almost 20 years. This honor is so long overdue, and I'm so excited that Maureen finally has her time to shine. Congratulations, Maureen.
We did have them all fully loaded. I've watched it twice. Takes a little while. Here it comes.
Good evening. My name is Ann Kingsley, and I'm the principal at John Adams School. Tonight, I would like to speak with you about our John Adams Educational Support Staff recipients, Debbie Coster, our school secretary. Debbie has been very helpful to me this year because this is my first year as principal. But in addition to that, she's always been very patient and eager to help. She always has a smile on her face, just like in the pictures. She wasn't smiling just in the pictures. She's kind and thoughtful. She also thinks of solutions. She thinks out of the box, and she's able to help people with problems that they have. She's helpful to staff, but she's also helpful to students. As you can see, one of our school students right there with her, because Debbie is working with her. And that's really going above and beyond her job description as a school secretary. We are very lucky to have Debbie in our school, and we are so happy that she was the recipient of this award. It was well deserved, and we are very proud of you. Congratulations, Debbie.
This time, I'd like to call up Judd, Mr. John Patella, principal, as well as Educator of the Year, 4th grade teacher, Stacy Oliveri, and the Education Support Staff, the year at Judd, Abdul Hadiq, our custodial staff.
Mrs. Alzari, in one word, dedicated. Not only does she have the passion for her job and love to teach, but she consistently works hard to make Joe School a better place for all.
Mrs. Oliveri is inclusive. She works hard to include all of her students. She always makes sure her students have access to the learning and help they need in whatever form.
Mrs. Oliveri is kind. She's one of the first people to offer her time and kind words to both students and to her fellow staff.
Mrs. Oliveri is giving. Whether it's something as small as a piece of gum to give to a student for focus assistance, or her holiday-themed masks for the children to wear, or even a blanket to warm a student up sitting under the AC vent. She doesn't stop at her students. She gives her all to everyone, and she does it from the bottom of her heart.
Mrs. Oliveri is creative because she's always trying to find new ways to help the students at Judd School.
Mrs. Oliveri is loyal. She is loyal to Judd, her students, her colleagues, and the North Brunswick community as a whole. She would do anything to make sure we are successful and happy.
Mrs. Oliveri is supportive. She's ever willing to share her resources and pedagogical knowledge, and she's very supportive of colleagues when they're implementing new strategies and instructional models.
Ms. Oliveri is a leader. She exhibits all the qualities of a good leader. She's vivid. She's confident. She trusts and respects her colleagues' time and their talents. She gives autonomy when she thinks that her colleagues can handle it. And she leads by...
Not sure why they cut out. Good idea, Mr. Patella. Oh, goodness. Here goes. Oh, start all over again.
Hey, I'd like to congratulate Abdul for being of the year here at Judd. Great worker, good work ethic, pleasant to be with, always very eager to help. Abdul, congratulations, man, good job.
Abdul, my friend, congratulations. Coming from me, Dwayne, to work with your hustler as far as getting the job done, getting things done. Congratulations on your history for the year. We're missed here at Judd. Congratulations, buddy. All right now.
Now they won't stop.
This time I'd like to call up Livingston Park, our principal, Mr. Dawson. I believe I saw our dean, our instructional dean, Ms. Finnegan, as well as our award recipients, our Educator of the Year, Marian Blumstein, Academic Support, and our Education Support Person of the Year, School Secretary, Sharon. I'm sorry, Elementary Director of Education, Lauren Finnegan, and Instructional Dean, Diane Mann.
Hi everyone, and congratulations to all of our wonderful recipients tonight. Tonight, Livingston Park is so proud to recognize Mary Ann Blumstein, one of our dedicated academic support teachers, as our Teacher of the Year.
So one of the best qualities about Mary Ann is that she's such a fierce advocate for her students. Every contact that I've had with her, she is always going for the most positive things that she can say about students in all of the ways that we can support them.
Mary Ann is a dedicated professional here at Livingston Park. No matter what the task is, Mary Ann is always willing to help out and go above and beyond.
She's also extremely caring, not only for her students, but for her colleagues as well. Mary Ann participates and leads in a number of key committees at our school. And for all those reasons and so many more, Mary Ann is our Teacher of the Year. Congratulations, Mary. And is the heart and soul of Livingston.
At any time, Sharon becomes the most helpful person. She is willing to do anything for our teachers and for our staff and students and families.
Sharon is multi-talented. She's thoughtful, kind, patient. She can help students, teachers, parents, everyone at the same time, all while figuring out substitutes, budget, and tolerating the principal.
Love about Sharon is her sense of humor. In her hardest, most challenging day, she'll always crack a joke. She's always singing in the office, and she just puts a smile on her face no matter how challenging your day is.
We are so honored to work with Sharon and Mary Ann, and we are deeply proud of you. Congratulations on being named Educator of the Year and ESP of the Year. We love you.
Parsons. We have Principal Mrs. Diana Whalen here. We also have our Interim Director of Elementary Instruction, Ms. Kathy Cade. And our award recipients are Educator of the Year, our School Counselor, Jamie Transalito, as well as our Education Support Person of the Year, School Secretary Rosa Rodriguez.
On its way.
Parsons would not work without Ms. Transalito. Ms. Transalito helps students deal with their feelings when they're sad, when they're mad, how to handle feelings, big and small. She helps students mediate disputes and to learn how to be a better friend. She encourages us. She puts up posters all over the place to remind us of how awesome we are. She helps us to work together, and she makes Parsons a beautiful place. We love the way that Ms. Transalito laughs hard and she works hard, and I am so grateful for her, and we all are. Thanks, Ms. Transalito.
Congratulations, Ms. T. Thank you, Ms. T, for helping me when I needed you. We're glad Ms. T. She helps a bunch of people when they feel sad, so nice. And yeah, thank you for helping me when I need help. Ms. T is so wonderful.
Full screen mode is unavailable. Feel like you're going to hear that downloading.
Today we're honoring Ms. Rosa Rodriguez, our secretary at Parsons School. Rosa, you run both the office and the school with ease, bringing warmth to the building and everyone inside it. Whether it be a student in need of food or warm clothing, a tender listening ear, or a comforting hug, your selflessness is inspirational. We cherish your positivity, your work ethic, and your optimism, and we thank you for making Parsons a great place to learn and thrive. I think our students' sentiments touch on our appreciation and value for all that you do for each and every one of us every day here at Parsons School. Congratulations, Miss Rosa.
There's Miss Rosa. She helps like a bunch of people too. Miss Rosa, you make me so happy. It was really helpful.
Thank you.
At this time, I'd like to, there he is, Mr. Shorter, principal of Linwood School. And although she could not be here, fifth grade math teacher Maria Russo is the governor's Educator of the Year. And our education support person of the year is none other than our plant manager here right on Linwood campus, Frank Malone.
See which one starts first.
Congratulations,
Maria, congratulations on the Educator of the Year award. You truly deserve it. For the last 2 years, you've been at Linwood School, and I can see why you are the Educator of the Year, because you're a subject area leader. You're a Math Olympian club advisor. You're a key person in our lunch duty, and you're a phenomenal teacher. So this award is well deserved, and I want to say again, congratulations. Thank you.
You're trying through all that you do. You go above and beyond for every one of your students every single day.
It is evident that you care for your students beyond your day.
The impact you make on each of your students does not go unnoticed, along with the impact you make on each of us as educators.
You help us grow into the best educators we can be. And you are always in our corners for every small success we make.
You're contagious, you are always lighting somebody else's feet and makes us all laugh.
You're lucky to work so closely with such an inspiring educator. This is a well-earned honor, and we could not think of a better person to be recognized as Teacher of the Year. Congratulations!
Congratulations.
Maria.
I believe John. Bless you. Bless you.
Congratulations on your award that you all deserve. You are the type of guy that makes your staff give you 100% all the time, because we know that you are behind us 100%.
Frank, congratulations. I would say you make the best work out 110%.
Congratulations, Frank.
Congratulations, Frank, on your work.
It was a great time to work with.
Congratulations, Frank. I've seen a lot of guys here. You're one of the best.
Sweet.
You truly deserve it. I'm just so happy that Linwood School has a plant manager that is so hardworking, dedicated, and does his work with pride. Congratulations, Frank. Congratulate you on your award.
Now they won't stop.
right? We thank
Yeah.
CC thanks you, you know.
This time from North Brunswick Township Middle School, Principal Rick Salover. And we have our Educator of the Year, Social Studies teacher, John Zelahosky. And we have our Education Support Person of the Year, our Plant Manager, Zira Baki.
Good evening. We're honored to take a minute to acknowledge our friend and colleague of 15 years as this year's North Brunswick Township Middle School Governor's Educator of the Year, John Zelahosky. I've had the opportunity to work closely with John since he first started in district, first as a team member and then as a co-advisor of 8th grade activities. John is one of the most enthusiastic teachers I know. He gets excited about history and the content he teaches. He makes his content relatable to the students. In turn, the students are interested in learning and his classes are engaging. John is also very active in the school community. He co-advises all the 8th grade activities and attends and announces many of the district's sporting events. John is always willing to collaborate with colleagues or willing to jump in to give anyone a hand in need.
I've also had the pleasure of working closely with John as a co-teacher and co-advisor of the 8th grade activities club. Here are some points that define him as a teacher and a person. John has a unique style of teaching. Every topic he teaches, he cultivates interest by telling stories using the students as characters. This engages all students and keeps them interested. I'm still amazed at how he can do that so naturally. John is always thinking of his students and colleagues and is open to new ideas and modifications when needed. He is a reliable colleague who will step in to cover or help in any way he can. When a new person joins the staff, he goes out of his way to make sure he introduces himself and welcomes them. Above all, he is passionate about everything in life and exhibits a positive, friendly attitude and willingness to take on new challenges. MBTMS is lucky to have him. Congratulations, John.
Congratulations, John. Good evening.
Ciro is one of the most hardworking individuals that I know. He's selfless, he's a problem solver, and he's always there to help a colleague who's in need. It's a bittersweet thing that Ciro's retiring. We are happy for him as he embarks on his next chapter in his life. However, we are sad because we are losing a very valuable asset to our team. Congratulations, Ciro, for winning this award. It is well deserved. And we're going to miss you immensely at North Brunswick Township Middle School.
Picture.
Thank you.
For MBTHS, I'd like to call up Principal Michael Neller. We have as our Educator of the Year, who unfortunately couldn't be here tonight, Ms. Dina Fleming, English teacher. And we also have our Education Support Person of the Year from the high school, instructional aide, Eilina Rogas.
The sound is tough on this one. Have to be really quiet.
Our team is
Township Principal, it's my pleasure to introduce Ms. Diana Rocco, or Ms. O, as the student caller, as the Educational Support Person Professional of the Year for North Brunswick Township High School for 2021 to 2022. She is a consummate professional who exudes enthusiasm for her profession and, more importantly, her students. She is devoted, caring, welcoming professional with a passion for working with others. She works well under pressure and promotes out-of-the-box problem solving when faced with challenges. She constantly demonstrates the ability to work with others in a respectful and inclusive manner. Mrs. Arroko's in her work is tasked with working with some of our most challenged students in our school. And yet, through her work, she encourages everyone, staff and student alike, to work to their fullest potential. She encourages lifelong learning and provides real-life examples while helping students draw connections to the world in a manner that can be understood and embraced by all learners. She is a highly respected member of our staff, and for students, she is a resource for all of them. She truly follows a team approach to working with the classroom, within the classroom, and works collaboratively to help motivate students and to be a cheerleader for them as they achieve success. Mrs. Arroco is passionate and has a positive belief system that shines through in all facets of her work, and she is truly deserving of this recognition. Congratulations.
And last but certainly not least, from central office for the district, we have our Education Support Person of the Year, Assistant Network Manager, Michael Toro. Awesome.
Okay, Mike Toro, 3 phrases come to mind to describe him: above and beyond, team player, and dedicated. Thank you, Mike. You definitely deserve this award.
Congratulations, Mike. We're so excited that you're being recognized for all your hard efforts. A team player you truly are. You've got the personal front first in everything you do. You're passionate about your work, your team is dependable, and always hard work. Congratulations and well served.
Congratulations, Mike. I think we've been 10 years that we've been working together. This is, to me, this is validation for all the hard work that I see you do day in and day out. So thank you for all the hard work. Keep up the good work. Don't let this go to your head. Congratulations.
Thank you again to all of our administrators and families of our award recipients who came tonight. We are so extremely proud of all of you and look forward to our recognition luncheon next Friday the 3rd. Thank you again.
Yeah, and I just want to say again, thank you for all your hard work and efforts. We really appreciate all that you do. Well deserved for everybody, so thank you.
Thank you again for all of your, it's been a rough 2 years, and to be honored for this in the midst of all this that's been going on really speaks to your professionalism and your dedication to our students. So thank you again for everything you do day in and day out.
So moving on with our meeting, Mr. Brockman, would you please take item number 6?
Yes, Mr. President. I make a motion that we approve the following board meeting minutes. Regular public meeting, April 27th, 2022. Conference meeting, April 13th, 2022.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The meeting minutes are approved.
Thank you. Any communications?
No communications this month. I do have my administrative report.
Please.
I'm going to just wait one
just
moment. Yep. You get to sit together. All right, way to clear the room, right? So good evening here to all of our families, guests, and viewers tonight. It is with a heavy heart that I speak to all of our community this evening following the tragic shootings of 21 elementary students, their teachers, and several emergency personnel in Texas. As parents, teachers, and administrators, we are always affected by any tragic event that takes a life. But another school shooting, another never again event, taking the lives of innocents, shakes us all to our core. As an educational community, North Brunswick Township Schools, however, has had a long commitment to our students' and staff's safety. We have extensive security plans that have been developed in concert with our local North Brunswick Township Police Department, county, and state officials. We have a director of security in our district, and we are in continuous contact with local, county, and state law officials, sharing information and adjusting our security based on continual communication with these people. North Brunswick Township Schools was the first in the state to implement the SLEO 3 legislation that places uniformed North Brunswick Police Department officers in each of our schools each day. Beyond that, we have additional layers of security, personnel, cameras, and procedures established. We will not, however, be sharing these out publicly by detailing specifics of our security plans, as that would be counterproductive and not in best interest of our safety plans. We have continued to see upticks in COVID cases in the district and are continuing to monitor school by school. Our district continues to work to mitigate the spread of COVID-19 and ensure that healthy students remain in school. Parents should be aware, however, that our county and much of the state is in high spread, and as such, that the district is still remaining mask optional, but should they wish their child to be masked, they do have the option to send them to school wearing a mask. Please remember that schools are closed on Monday, May 30th in honor of Memorial Day, and Tuesday, May 31st as a Give Back Snow Emergency Day. That is it for my report this evening, Mr. President.
Thank you, Ms. Shiroka. Any student reports?
Yes. There's a couple, sorry.
No, it's okay.
So right after we came back from spring break, there was a spring pep week. We had theme days such as College Day, Wear Green for Earth Day, Hawaii Day, Class Color Day, and that's pretty much it. And then the Blue and Gold Day on Friday. There was also a class hall decorating competition. And on Friday, we had the spring athletes, and we celebrated them with the pep rally where the juniors won the Spirit Cup. The Alchemist Theater Company, we had very successful performances of our spring show. We also had a sensory show for students with disabilities, and that was very, it was amazing. We weren't told about it until, the week of Tech Week, and, it was, in place of rehearsal, and there was no complaints by any of the cast. We were all very happy to do it, and it went very, very well, so we're very happy about that. Innovation also had their annual show on Friday, May 6th. It was amazing. Everyone loved it. 2023, they held their junior evening on Friday, May 13th. Class 2022, we have our senior barbecue tomorrow, and then we have our senior prom next Friday on June 3rd at the Westin. Very excited about that. And then also tomorrow we have the SGL Executive Board and class officers meeting tomorrow as the LTO, the Leadership Training Conference. And then on Friday of this week we have our turnover meeting where we say goodbye to our current board and introduce next year's board. And the highlight of this meeting is our seniors, but also that we successfully raised $5,000 to give to St. Jude's Children's Hospital.
Thank you. On to committee reports. Ms. James?
Sure. The Education Committee met on Wednesday, May 17th at 6 o'clock. We discussed the status of NJSLA, which is underway at the elementary schools and high school this week. or that week. Local assessments will take place afterwards. Administration is considering some potential tweaks to some of our local benchmarks and platforms, but those conversations remain ongoing. NJTSS, which is an overhaul of the intervention and referral services process, is also underway, and that's starting with training. It was supposed to be implemented back in April of 2020, but COVID got in the way of quite a couple things, that being one of them. So it's good news that this process is finally underway, and the process will be digital, which will be helpful to view information and access information. We discussed the use of some federal funds before they're set to expire. Some of those funds will support our summer programs, which sound creative and exciting. I was very pleased to hear about the ideas that are coming forth for those programs. They sound wonderful, truly. And I want to commend all those involved for their thoughtfulness and creativity that has been put into developing those programs that we hope will be inviting and engaging. I won't spoil the secrets, but I am looking forward to seeing some photos of all the fun that was had while learning this summer. We discussed the possible use of any outstanding funds to complete the media room at the high school. We are proud to announce the township is being submitted for the Safe Routes to School Recognition Plan, which is a good way to share best practices in policy and design to create safe environments for people to walk, bike, or travel. For instruction and curriculum, we're entering into consultations for dual language, math for grades K-4, and science. And as always, we are eager to see the benefits of those programs from those engagements, and we're thankful to all staff involved for their efforts and beyond. We also discussed the ESY program, which is specific to only certain students with disabilities whose educational programs are set out in their annual IEPs. And the shift from the standard 20 days to 30 days, which is also a great improvement to the program. 400 students remain currently eligible, and contacts are being made to those families to make sure that they will participate. There are some creative ideas that are being explored and presented for that program as well, which I'm looking forward to seeing on the conclusion of that. Thanks to Mr. Harry and his team for all the effort that goes into the planning of the summer program for those students. Finally, we had the first reading of policy 2416.01 and 2417, which speaks to postnatal accommodations for students and student intervention and referral services. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Ms. James. Mr. Wen?
None at this time.
Ms. Keefe?
Yes, the negotiations team met on May 10th with regard to our ongoing negotiations with our teachers union.
Thank you. Mr. Braca?
Not at this time, Mr. President.
Ms. Toth?
Yes, Mr. President. The Human Resources Committee met on Tuesday, May 17th at 5 o'clock. All of our members were in attendance. We spoke about some amendments that will be listed on the agenda this evening. We spoke about retirements as well as resignations. We thank all of the retires and our resignations for all of the great work they've done for our district and wish them well in their future endeavors. We also spoke about some new hires for this past school year. We discussed current leaves of absences and benefits, substitutes for the district moving forward for the rest of the school year as well as next. We also spoke about summer staffing with ESY, our academic programs. We spoke about some hires, certified and non-certified, some vacancies that we have posted as well in the district, and some of the statuses for the positions of 2022 to 2023 next year. Some more staff reassignments, and then we spoke about some leaves of absences, some of our, back to our job postings, some revised new and current job descriptions. In regard to community relations, there was a strategic planning update. The meeting took place on Thursday, May 6th. We are currently working on action items in order to create the action plans. The next meeting will take place in June, the 23rd, and then the committee will actually present to us as the board at our July meeting. We spoke about some revised policies and went over those policies and all received copies for our records. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Mr. Lugore?
Thank you, Mr. President. Good evening, friends, fellow residents. The Business Operations Committee met about 2 hours ago, so hot off the presses. The first topic we discussed was ongoing mercury monitoring, which will commence at the high school in Linwood in the main gyms at the end of this month, and Parsons and Livingston Park will be tested after the HVAC installation next year. We talked about the ongoing roof project at the high school. There's been some delays. We've had quite a bit of rain lately, so that's still ongoing. On our agenda this evening, on page 22, item 3F, is an amendment to our solar project at the high school, also been postponed because of the subsequent delays to the roofing project. We discussed the possibility of liaising with our township and our police department, timely and timeless, as Dr. Z used to say when he was here, on some security issues. This would have popped up prior to yesterday's incident, of course, but discussions are ongoing in that regard. At the middle school, we discussed the ongoing solar installation that is still in planning phase. In June, we may see an amendment to the purchase power agreement that has to do with our solar, so stay tuned for more on that next month. At our high schools, we're very excited about the upcoming HVAC projects that are on the docket. On tonight's agenda, on page 22, item 3G, there are 2 change orders for this project. There was an allowance built in of $20,000 for this project, so the 2 change orders came in at a total of $18,300, so there's no hit as of yet, but procedurally, that is on our agenda for this evening for those 2 change orders. We talked about food service and how we've been generating some funds this year and how those funds could be used over the summer as we prepare for next school year, things like, and these are not etched in stone yet, but things like HVAC for our kitchen areas, upgrading our appliances, vending machines for our staff, so much more to come on that through the summer months as well. We talked about the possibility in June, again, as it pertains to our finances, that we could close out 2 of our lease purchase plans in the current fiscal year to save us some money down the road. So if that hits the agenda next month, we'll draw everyone's attention to that. On this month's agenda, there are 2 transfers, more for transparency than anything else. On page 22-3H, there's some monies being transferred regarding the PIA grant. And on page 21, item 3B, there's some transfers from fund to fund regarding our capital projects. We talked about the cameras, the card swipes, the radios. The cameras are all in place. We're still waiting for 6 more. The radios have been installed. Ironically, we're still waiting for 6 more. And our card access project is well underway. We talked about some plans that are going on there, more to come with that in June as well. And then finally, we discussed 2 of the policies that are on this evening's agenda as they pertain to maintenance and facilities and such in our committee, and that would conclude our report.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank
Lewis.
you.
Dr. Patel?
None at this time.
Ms. Toth, can you take item number 9, please?
Yes, Mr. President. I'd like to make a motion to approve the administrative, student, and committee reports.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All the reports are accepted.
Thank you. At this time, we're going to have a review of the rest of the agenda. We're currently on page 2.
For those viewing here, this is a consent agenda. So what we do is the board members have all seen this agenda previously, and we just do a quick review of each of the pages, just to make sure there's nothing that anybody has any questions on before we vote.
Thank you. I will take a look at page 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8, 9 and 10, 11 and 12, 13 and 14, 15 and 16, 17 and 18, 19 and 20, 21 and 22, 23 and 24, 25 and 26, and 27. At this time, we'll have a public session. This is on agenda items only. So if there's any comments or questions, again, this is on agenda items only. We ask that you come up to the podium, state your name, and sign in before addressing the board.
Can you explain further agenda items?
Sure. So if there's any comments or questions on anything listed on the agenda, that will be this time. If it's not related to the agenda and it's just anything in general, there'll be another portion for that as well. All right, seeing that there are none, may I please have a motion to close the public portion of the meeting?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? This portion of the meeting is closed.
Thank you. Ms. Keefe, can you take item number 13, please?
Yes, Mr. President.
It's okay.
Okay. I apologize, Mr. President. I'd like to make a motion to approve the following consent agenda items: personnel 1 and 2, curriculum 1 and 2, miscellaneous 1 and 2, finance items 1 through 4, policy, and transportation 1 and 2.
Second.
Sorry. Mr. Brockman.
Yes.
Mr. Duran Harris.
Yes.
Ms. James.
Yes.
Ms. Keefe.
Yes.
Mr. LaGorry.
Yes.
Dr. Patel.
Yes.
Ms. Toth.
Yes.
And Mr. Wen.
Yes on all items except with the exception of miscellaneous item A, from which I abstain.
The motions have all been accepted and approved.
Thank you. So at this time, it's a public session on any matter. So again, if you'd like to make a comment or ask any questions of the board, we ask that you sign in, state your name, and then you can state your comment or your question. Is there a microphone there?
Yes.
Okay.
I passed this down. You got one?
Yeah, that's fine.
Thank you. This is new waters for me, so please bear with me. My name is Cynthia Carpio. I'm a member of the North Brunswick community. I have children that attend the North Brunswick School District. It has come to my attention that there is a new curriculum regarding the sex education that's coming into play coming September, that's been approved since April of this year. I understand that there's been talks about it or discussions within the school board since 2020. And I have questions about this curriculum and where North Brunswick School Board of Education stands with regards to this curriculum. This is the pink, blue, and purple curriculum. I'm sure you've heard about it because I have a parent that was already attended the last meeting and brought it to your attention, and I'm interested in knowing where do you stand on it currently, and I have a lot of questions about it.
So I'd be more than happy to connect you with Dr. Johnson this week to talk to him. He's our curriculum director, and I was previously the curriculum director. The curriculum has not been written yet. So what you've heard so much about right now is the standards that the state of New Jersey has adopted, and they are to be implemented in the fall of 2022. So over the summer, our teams will be working to develop units to support those standards, and our teams. So it will be our physical education and health teachers who will be teaching that, and those teams will be working to develop appropriate lessons that are age appropriate for our students, and we will be fully transparent with all of our units that we present. Some of the units that people were very concerned about and that made a lot of news were presented on a Board of Education that presented links to possible lessons that are not ones that we're going to be adding into our curriculum here. And we understand that parents have concerns about that, and we will be fully transparent about the units that we're doing. And in addition, in terms of health and sex education, parents always do have the option to opt their students out of any instruction that they don't feel fits their personal family values.
Okay, and the reason I'm asking, I have all these questions are because there hasn't been up to date a lot of transparency about what is going to be coming and what has been approved. So from what I'm understanding, you're saying that this curriculum is going to be developed over the summer.
Correct.
So you're not going to be using any of the material that has been provided to you from the state of New Jersey.
So we have to develop the curriculum based on the standards provided by New Jersey.
Which includes that information or that data, because there's very selective information that has been provided already from the school board, from the state. So some of that, I mean, it's such limited data that
They're about this thick.
Right.
And
but there's every grade,
yes.
right?
And so basically they give us standards by the end of a certain grade. Students would meet a standard and show proficiency in certain things. So, that's for the team will be working on that, And again, we will be transparent about those things as we
So
present them.
can we expect a letter? Can we expect email? What can we expect to see so that all the parents, because, you know, there was a few parents that came to light about the subject.
Mhm.
And through discussions, because I mean, you know, there's a lot of parents that participate.
We will post the full curriculum on the website for every parent to read and see, and all the resources.
suspect that will
Probably
be?
about the end of August.
And we'll definitely be having a choice to opt out of this?
It's a state law, state required, state allow, you're,
Okay,
as a
'cause
parent.
From what I understood, there wasn't that answer, you weren't able to answer that question at the last meeting?
I don't think it was asked, but
Um,
yes.
Alula
parents.
and Michael came on my behalf to that meeting, so we made sure that we had discussed previously some of the questions that were gonna be asked, so that we knew kind of where to take, where to go with
Sure.
that information. And it was very vague, the information that was provided to him, so, we just kind of wanted to kind of touch base on what was going to be developed, who was gonna be selecting this information, and are parents involved in what is going to be discussed? Because there's some very young age groups that are gonna be introduced to this new curriculum that, for many, is very highly sensitive.
Absolutely.
Really goes against a lot of the things that we, you know, as a community, or a lot of people in the community feel. And this doesn't come from a place of hate or not accepting. This comes from a place of parents being concerned and making sure that our
Absolutely.
kids are growing up, because, you know, they spend a good chunk of time within the school every day. And
Absolutely.
we want to make sure that we're kind of in line with the same morals and values on a day-to-day basis, so that it doesn't,
We
we're
understand.
so far off from what we're doing at home.
Right.
Right.
Understand completely.
The curriculum that you said that was going to be discussed is like this thick. And this
Well, the
is
standards are quite thick,
the
yes.
standards.
Yes.
And this is, you're going to be taking bits and pieces from this, let's say, template, if you want to say that, with the information they're giving you for lessons, or the lesson plan per se.
So when we develop curriculum, we develop it based on a standard. So a standard creates a student learning objective, and then they develop lessons to help the students achieve that objective.
So where would the kids be taken if we were to opt out? So
You know, those are a lot of specific questions that I'm sure Mr. Johnson can very easily answer you. I can't specifically answer that at the moment.
and I'm sorry, can you tell me again what his position was?
He's the Director of Curriculum Instruction and Technology.
Okay, and he's available through the board?
Absolutely. You can go on the Let's Talk button on our website and send a message to him directly and tell him your concerns, and he can spend some time and talk to you
Would
about
there
it.
be a possibility or an option for it not to be introduced into the school district at all?
Well, we are monitored by the state of New Jersey, and we are required to meet certain standards. So we have to, how we develop them and how we choose to implement them is up to us, and we have that innovation, that ability, our agency, but we do have to meet those standards in some way or another, according to the state. And that's true with science, whether we teach the solar system or geometry and things like that. We have to meet those state standards. That's required of us as a district, and how we get measured as a district.
And do you know this portion of the class, do you know how long this is going to be? Is it like a half an hour part of the day? Is it a daily part that's
They
being
have,
discussed? Is this part of
I don't think that's been determined exactly yet, and I think the part that people are thinking about is probably such a small amount of time, half an hour maybe within a lesson, within units, within the entire 180 days of the school year.
You know, I just know from experience this year, when there were certain programs that were adopted new into the schools, if for my family at least, for example, we opted out on some of those things, and it came to light that some of those things slipped through, some of those gaps. And my son, we opted him out to participate in a specific lesson, and he was still included in that lesson, the second round of that lesson. And I guess I'm just trying to figure out how we can eliminate those things from happening.
So if it's a health and PE thing, you certainly can work with your principal. We're not allowed to allow students to opt out of other lessons in science or math or
No,
English.
It was like an add-on.
Okay.
It was an additional thing that I guess there was extra funds for this year. So that was something that we had elected to opt out of, and he did opt out and there was like another mental health screening as well.
Oh,
That
okay.
we opted out the first round, the second round, it was given to him, and I only came to light when we discussed it at home.
Okay.
And then I was like, wait a second, how did that ended up happening? And then I'm having to reach out to the teachers, and then it ended up being a
Okay.
thing. So I'm just trying to make sure that
Sure.
how we can gauge and ensure that
I
once
would
we've
say-
opted out, that we're opted out.
Absolutely.
Right.
Understand. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome.
Absolutely, thank you. If you could just please sign in and state your name.
So I'm Ebony Figueroa, and I have a second grader at Judd, and I have a soon-to-be kindergarten come this September. And so the same course that she's talking about, the blue, pink, and purple, will it be introduced to the kindergartners?
No.
Okay, so that is on the New Jersey website that they're gonna be introducing that.
So it's a range. It's like, the standard is, I think K to 2, that
Yeah.
you teach it somewhere along that range. And when the teachers are working on developing the curriculum, they will determine where they think that fits in. And we have not yet made those decisions yet.
Okay. So
And
it's
again,
just-
we're not
right
looking.
now it's just kinda like
Right.
hearsay, like nothing is set in stone per se.
Correct.
Okay, because it was just a little bit concerning, like, my 5-year-old that can't wipe yet will be learning about all these things
Right.
that is going on in today's world, but he would be rather, to me, very young to learn anything, like, he's just gonna be graduating from preschool.
Understand.
So in my eyes, he's still a baby, so
Right.
to be introduced
Right.
about those kind of topics or anything, it's just like, he's too young in my eyes for any of that to be discussed.
Absolutely. And we know these are sensitive topics, and so we will handle them in a sensitive way and make sure that we are, again, transparent in however we do decide if we're going to address them in a specific way.
Okay, so a lot of the stuff that's just floating around is just.
It's a lot of drama.
Right.
About, honestly, there were things that were probably linked on those school board websites that were controversial for sure,
Yeah.
that we would never adopt as anything related to our lessons.
Okay, because, obviously, like, I'm a healthcare worker, so
Mhm.
the same things you guys are having to implement, we've had to implement too. But from a child's standpoint, it's just like, I brought certain topics up to my kids and they were just like.
They're not ready for that
Yeah,
developmentally.
especially my
Yeah.
5-year-old, he's not, like, he doesn't get it, like, everybody just has a butt right now. So when we go into those kind of things, it's like, all right, it's not that I don't want them to learn things, but at certain ages, it's just, they're not ready to learn it. So, all right.
Thank you.
I feel a little bit better knowing that, no, my kindergarten won't learn that right
No.
now.
No.
All right.
And if, again, we have our Let's Talk button. Anytime you're concerned about anything like that with curriculum, please do feel free to, message somebody in the district. Let us know your concerns so we can address it.
Absolutely, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions for the board? All right, seeing that there are none, may I please have a motion to close the public portion of the meeting?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? This session is closed.
Thank you. At this time, we'll be going into a closed session. Excuse me. Whereas Section 8 of the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, PL 1975, permits the exclusion of the public from a meeting in certain circumstances, and whereas this public body is of the opinion that such circumstances presented exist, now therefore be it resolved by the North Brunswick Township Board of Education that the public shall be excluded from discussion of and action upon the hereinafter specified subject matters. The general nature of the subject matters to be discussed is as follows: personnel matters, contract negotiations, and also legal matters. It is anticipated at this time that the above stated subject matter shall be made public at such time as the need for non-disclosure no longer exists. This resolution shall take effect immediately. May I please have a motion to go into closed?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We can go into closed session.
Good night. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Scott.
Thanks, Scott.
Great presentation.
May I please have a motion to return to open session?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We are back in session.
Thank you. And Mr. Brockman, I believe you have a motion?
Sure. I'd like to make a motion to suspend employee number 6014 with pay effective May 13th, 2022, pending further action by the board.
Second.
Mr. Brockman?
Yes.
Mr. Duran Harris?
Yes.
Ms. James?
Yes.
Ms. Keefe?
Yes.
Mr. Legori?
Yes.
Dr. Patel?
Yes.
Ms. Toth?
Yes.
Mr. Nguyen?
Yes.
The motion has been accepted.
Thank you. And finally, may I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We are closed.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
Hope good to see you. We'll see you next week.
Thank you. Oh, wait, we are?
We think so.
We think so. You may be the first student here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Surprise.
Dare I ask, is that a